Hi everyone, welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 89 for February 26th, or excuse me, 24th to 26th. Thanks so much for ordering this week and thank you for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home. Well, we've got an amazing but very simple meal to finish tonight. And if you guys were with us over the Valentine's Day weekend, a lot less pots and pans to wash. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Appetizer, super delicious, super easy soup, roast turkey and barley soup. So we've got Rich's amazing cheddar biscuits. These are like legendary, out of this world biscuits. So stick those in a 400-degree oven for 5 minutes, and we are going to simmer our soup for about 6 to 7 minutes. And you're just going to stir that every once in a while. We don't want to boil it, so not super, super hot. So on my induction range, I've got it at a 6 or a 7. And then we can start thinking about the main course already because that's all working. Make sure, by the way, we've got this lovely whipped and salted butter. Bring that out early on so that it can warm up to room temperature. Very key. I probably didn't bring mine up to room temperature quite enough, but we'll see how we roll. Grapeseed oil or canola oil, you know me, if you've watched this before, grapeseed oil is my oil of choice for the neutral oil. I've got a cast iron pan. If you don't have one of these, go and do yourself a favor and get one. 20 bucks, it's like the greatest investment you can make in the kitchen. And 1 tablespoon of butter per person there. I've gone ahead and cut the sous vide bag and brought the steaks out. Now these are soy marinated and done a little bit sous vide already. So we're going to season them with salt and pepper. Both sides, very key, while the pan is warming up. And the soy marinade just breaks it down and gives it that amazing umami-ness. And I've got this miso mayo, which is going to finish things off really, really nicely. And then we can also start warming up our veg pan as well to medium heat, I believe. To high heat for the cast iron or the heavy bottom pot if you don't have a cast iron, and then another pan to medium heat. All right. Make sure to stir your soup. I've also got my sweet potato puree here on medium low, and we're just gonna keep moving that around, making sure it's nice. So when the oil starts to smoke, that's when you know that it is ready to go. The dessert, I might as well plate it right now. So we've got this apple cinnamon cake with salted caramel and candied walnuts. So I'm going to get that on there. Let's take the ramekin lids off and get it ready. But I bet you my pan is starting to smoke. It is. So I'm going to go ahead and sear my steaks. There we go. So while that's happening, let me bring dessert over. Let's see. If it's loose enough, I should be able to just pour it around and on top. I want to thank all the curated customers, by the way, who wanted to support us while the lockdowns were happening and all of the crazy protesters were here. We're very grateful. If you couldn't come to the restaurant because you couldn't get to us or because we had to close suddenly many times over the last few weeks, we're very grateful for you ordering curated in order to be able to support us and our staff. Okay, there is our lovely apple cinnamon cake with the salted caramel and candied walnut. Can't wait to try that one tonight. This is Megan, our sous chef, who does these. She does a great job. Okay, and so for the steaks, I bet you I'm turning them over. It said put the, 45 seconds per side. I've probably gone a little bit more than that, but that's okay. I'll try to do it a little bit less on this side. And I know that the veggies are also 1 tablespoon of neutral oil per person. The other thing we're going to do, we've got our marinated onions. Make sure that all the liquid is out of them because you're going to be putting those in a little bit. But the first thing that's going to go in is the carrots. Carrots for 4 minutes. So they're ready to go now. going to try to time this with the steak. So I'm turning off the heat, and I'm taking 2 tablespoons of butter and putting it in here. And I'm going to need to get a spoon and a cloth because we are going to do some butter bathing. So 15 seconds per side once the butter melts. Make sure I got that right. And if you want the steaks more than medium rare, by the way, then you're going to put them in the oven for a few minutes. And I bet you my biscuits are ready and my soup is ready. So let me pull the biscuits out of the oven so they don't overcook because we don't want that to happen. I'm going to get a little trivet here, put them on. I'll come back to those in a second. So with the pan, just pour it down like this on an angle. So you can butter bathe each side for about 15 seconds. That's what gives the steaks an amazing, luxurious quality to them. 15 seconds on this side. See if I can actually do it for 15 seconds. If you guys know me and you've watched this before, you see that I tend to get a little impatient and I probably rush things a little bit. But the good news about cooking is you can adjust. Okay, I'm going to turn the soup off because it looks like it's ready to go. Give our carrots a little spin. Sweet potato puree a little spin. Now the steaks are looking gorgeous. So I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet. You can do whatever you like. You can just keep them on a plate. And I'm going to keep the hot butter here because I'm going to dredge them through at the end. But that is completely up to you. Let me talk about the delicious wine tonight. I'm a huge fan of this. Connor found something amazing. This is an Entre-deux-Mer, Semillon Sauvignon Blanc from Bordeaux. Offering exceptional value, this white biodynamic Bordeaux offers up silky expressive notes of ripe pears, yellow peaches, beeswax, and chamomile, dry with medium acidity on the finish. I think it's great. And for this barley and turkey soup, because, you know, every week we try to come up with new things, we want to make sure that, you know, there's some variety in your lives. When's the last time you had a turkey soup outside of, you know, after Thanksgiving? Got these new blue bowls for Christmas from my sweet, wonderful wife. And I haven't used them yet for the meal kit video. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to check them out. So has it been 4 minutes on the carrots? Probably. They've got some nice color to them. Let's see. Then we're adding the cremini mushrooms and bok choy and the butter. So let's do the butter first so it can melt down the bottom. And our mushrooms next. And then our bok choy. As soon as the butter is melted, we are going to add the marinated onions. Oh yes. And look at these cute little plates with the biscuits. That's why I really wanted to try them out. I also got the little plates for my wife for Christmas. And then, so we just need a spoon. Scoop this up. Because who doesn't love a little delicious with butter with some fleur de sel in there? Butter is melted. Giving this a little stir. Again, make sure that you have drained the liquid from your marinated onions. Toss them right in. And this gives some acidity to the dish. If you want some more acidity, of course, you can just include the liquid from the pickling liquid from the onions. That's totally up to you. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit because I've got a lot in the pan and I don't want to keep you waiting around forever on the video. But I do want to tell you about this amazing red wine because I was chilling down the white when I started the meal kit video, and so I tasted the red and I was like, oh yeah. Some of these are just so inspiring to me when I try them. especially Portuguese red, which I have not always been a huge fan of, but Connor's turned me on to some amazing ones. So this is a Golpe Tinto Familia Carvalho. I'm doing a horrible job, but it's from Portugal. 50% Touriga Nacional, 50% Tinta Roriz, and 25% Touriga Franca. So these are the grapes that go into port, but they make them into a still wine. Dry red wine, average vine age of 25 years, expect flavors of cherry, plum, and boysenberry with notes of baking, spice, and chocolate. Think of a dry port. It's just delicious. I am a big fan. Okay. This is looking good. Don't forget, season with salt and pepper. Lovely. I guess I can turn the oven off, and I guess I can turn that off, and I can probably turn this guy off soon. Sweet potato is ready, I would say, to plate. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Look at the soup, by the way. It's looking gorgeous. Okay. So sweet potato, half and half. So now that the protesters are gone, I hope that people are feeling more safe about coming downtown, and we would love to see you back. Our restaurants are open 100% now, although there is still lots of spacing between tables, especially at Becta, and there's lots of private rooms available. But now it's like it's time to get back to living. And so I really hope that we get a chance to see you guys in person real soon. Okay, that's looking. Turn that off. I'm gonna let that cook just for a second while we're finishing the steaks. Again, I'm gonna just dredge it through the nice beefy butter one last time, because why not? Okay, now with the flank steak, it's pretty easy to see which is the direction of the grain, and we're gonna cut against the grain so that it is nice and tender. And you can cut it as thin as you like with the flank steak. It's got lots of earthy flavor, but it tends to be a little tougher cut, which is why we marinate it in soy and why we rest it and why we slice it thin. And you can fan it out a little bit. So that the salt and pepper get right in there. Okay. Now these bad boys, let's get some tongs. Try to space out our veggies between the two plates, which is really funny because then as soon as I finish this, my wife comes and divides the plates amongst three of us. It's kind of a good deal that we get to eat this stuff every week. Some of that, some of that. Looking good. And then finally, our flank steak. Well, not finally, in fact, because we've got something else. And again, if you watched me before, flip over the last piece so that it appears a little more, the rare consistency goes right through. And I'm just going to clean this up a notch. And the chef is always a fan of putting the sauce on the side, especially for pictures or presentation. So we've got this amazing miso mayo, which you're going to dip your steak in. And that just makes it awesome. Mmm, love that stuff. There we go. Our beautiful miso soy marinated flank steak with the sweet potato puree, the bok choy, roasted carrots, cremini mushrooms, and miso mayo. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for ordering this week. And yeah, I'm very excited to cook and curate for you again soon and also have you back in the restaurants. Have a great week.